Welcome. I am Carl Gustav Jung. I speak to you today not merely as a voice from the annals of psychology, but as an echo from the very depths of your own mind. We are here to confront a reality that most spend their entire lives desperately avoiding. We are going to explore the mechanics of human suffering, the architecture of self-sabotage, and the profound concept of outwitting the devil to escape the mental prison. But before we take a single step further into this darkness, I must demand your absolute honesty. Look inward right at this very moment. Do you genuinely believe you are free? When you wake up, when you choose your career, when you react with sudden anger, or when you feel the crushing weight of anxiety, do you believe these are the conscious choices of a free individual? Or is it possible that you have fallen deeply, tragically in love with the very chains that bind you? Most individuals wander through their days convinced of their own autonomy. They build lives, they accumulate possessions, they construct identities. Yet, I tell you this, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will simply call it fate. You will call it bad luck. You will call it the way the world works. This ignorance is the ultimate mental prison. And the warden of this inescapable fortress is the entity the uninitiated and the fearful call the devil. Let us strip away the medieval superstitions. In my analytical work, I do not view the devil as a supernatural beast with horns and a pitchfork waiting to punish you in some fiery afterlife. The psychological reality of the devil is far more terrifying, precisely because it is far more intimate. The devil is a psychological fact. He is what I call the shadow. The shadow is the invisible tail that follows you everywhere. It is the accumulation of everything you have denied, repressed, and hidden from yourself and the world. It contains your unacknowledged fears, your unresolved childhood traumas, your culturally forbidden desires, and the dark, aggressive impulses you refuse to face. When Napoleon Hill wrote of outwitting the devil, he was speaking of a profound psychological force that controls the masses through fear and habit. He described people entirely under this influence as drifters. I recognize these drifters clearly. They are individuals who are entirely possessed by their own unconscious complexes. Ask yourself, right now, as you listen to my voice, are you a drifter? Are the thoughts echoing in your skull truly your own? Or are they the recycled fears of your parents, the rigid expectations of your society, and the anxious whispers of the collective unconscious? When you sabotage your own success just as you are about to achieve it, who is making that choice? When you find yourself paralyzed by a fear of judgment, who is holding you back? It is not your conscious ego. It is the shadow. It is the devil within the architecture of your own psyche, pulling your strings while you dance like an obedient marionette, oblivious to the threads. To outwit this force, to escape this mental prison, you must first understand how its walls are constructed. This prison is not built of iron, concrete, or stone. It is built entirely of illusions and maintained by psychological defenses. The primary illusion is the persona, the mask you wear to interface with society. You expend a colossal amount of vital energy trying to look successful, trying to be perceived as a good or normal person, desperately trying to fit into the suffocating boxes the modern world provides. But hear this truth: the thicker the mask, the darker the shadow grows behind it. By identifying entirely with your persona, you lock away your true vitality. You imprison your wildness, your primal creativity, and your authentic spirit, simply because you are terrified of what the herd might think of you. Fear. That is the mortar that holds the bricks of your mental prison together. Hill identified the basic fears that the devil uses to control humanity: the fear of poverty, the fear of criticism, the fear of ill health, the fear of loss of love, the fear of old age, and the fear of death. Psychologically, these fears are the gatekeepers of the unconscious. They prevent you from looking inward. Fear of criticism is nothing but the ego's terror of being abandoned by the tribe. Fear of poverty is the primal dread of physical annihilation. The devil, your shadow, thrives in the dark. It thrives when you are distracted. And look at the world you inhabit today. It is a masterpiece of distraction, a world of constant digital noise, flashing screens, endless shallow entertainment, and manufactured outrage. This is the perfect, sterile environment for the mental prison to operate flawlessly. As long as your gaze is fixated outward, staring blindly at the shadows dancing on the wall of the cave, you never look inward. You never turn around to face the light or the darkness within yourself. And therefore, you remain a slave to it. You fall into what he'll called hypnotic rhythm. In psychological terms, this is the gravitational pull of unconscious habit. It is the neural pathways etched so deeply into your brain that you react mechanically to life stimuli. You become an automaton. You allow the collective unconscious to sweep you away in its massive, thoughtless, destructive tides. So, how do you outwit this formidable force? How do you break the iron bars of a prison you cannot even touch? You do not defeat the devil by running away from him. You do not conquer the shadow by ignoring it, or by meditating only on light and positive thoughts. No tree can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell. You outwit the devil by turning around, looking him dead in the eye, and recognizing him as an integral part of yourself. This is the agonizing, painful, and ultimately glorious process I call individuation. It is the hero's journey of becoming whole, rather than merely remaining good. To escape the mental prison, you must first accept radical, terrifying responsibility for your own mind. You must stop blaming your external circumstances. You must stop blaming the economy, your upbringing, your politicians, or your bad luck. The victim mentality is the favorite playground of the shadow. Keeps you passive. It justifies your drifting. You must step voluntarily into the fire of self-discovery. I challenge you, starting this exact moment, begin to brutally observe your own mind. Become the watcher of your thoughts. When a profound fear arises, do not shrink from it. Do not numb it with distraction. Lean into it. Ask it, why are you here? What hidden complex is being triggered right now? When you feel intense envy of another's success, or sudden, inexplicable rage, or a crushing wave of despair, do not suppress it beneath a polite smile. That emotion is the voice of the prisoner rattling the bars of your own psyche. Listen to it. Engage with these hidden parts of yourself. Bring the devil out of the damp, dark basement of your unconscious and into the blinding light of conscious awareness. When you integrate your fears rather than fleeing from them, a profound psychological alchemy takes place. The devil loses his autonomous power over you. The immense vital energy that was trapped in your neuroses, locked in your anxieties, and wasted on your self-sabotage is suddenly released back to your conscious ego. The shadow, once integrated, is no longer a monster hiding under the bed. It becomes an unparalleled source of power, resilience, and unyielding drive. You stop drifting. You break the hypnotic rhythm. You become the conscious master of your own ship, navigating the stormy seas of life rather than being tossed by them. You integrate the dark and the light, and you transform into a whole, integrated, and terrifyingly free human being. Outwitting the devil is not a one-time trick, nor is it a weekend seminar. It is a grueling, lifelong commitment to consciousness. It requires the immense courage to stand entirely alone, to break away from the comforting warmth of the unthinking herd, and to face the terrifying, chaotic depths of your own soul. The path is extraordinarily difficult. The work is agonizing, but consider the alternative: to remain in the prison, to drift into the grave having never truly lived, having never known who you actually are. The reward for this work is the only thing that fundamentally matters: true, unassailable psychological freedom. The door to your cell is not locked from the outside. The key has been resting securely in the palm of your hand since the day you were born. The question before you is not whether you possess the power to escape. The only question that matters is this: are you finally brave enough to turn the key? The choice, as it always has been, is entirely yours. Remain asleep, drift comfortably into oblivion, and serve the unconscious. Or awaken, integrate your shadow, outwit the devil, and claim your absolute right to your true self. I urge you to choose consciousness. Wake up.